KarmicSightGal. My name is Shay. I am your host. I am a healer, an intuitive, a creative. I am many things, but today I am a podcaster. Welcome to my podcast where I discuss spirituality and the link between your own spiritual journey and your personal relationships. So, today's crystal of the week is Desert Rose. This crystal is for meditation, grounding, focus, and grief. It is a sandy brown color. It was born in Mexico and Morocco. It is attached to both the roots, crown, and sacral chakras, and you cannot cleanse it in water. Formed from ancient desert sand, desert rose is a sandy form of mineral selenite and holds many of the same cleansing properties with an added boost of grounding energy. Have a hard time sitting still or focusing? Desert rose offers you the gift of balance and focused calm, making this a great crystal for desks, workspaces, and anywhere you need access to clarity, focus, and concentration. One of my favorite crystals for meditation and yoga spaces. Desert Rose vibrates with a uniquely aligned blend of root and crown chakra energies, creating a simultaneously grounding and uplifting vibration that anyone near can easily tap into. Desert Rose also helps gently support those processing grief, especially grief related to miscarriage or the death of a family member or pet. Lie with the crystal on your low stomach to help process, heal, and transform. Holding a quiet strength on the masculine spectrum of energies, this is a crystal many men and young boys resonate with. A desert rose can be wonderfully grounding and supportive gift for the special guys in your life. Okay, so I chose this crystal specifically because on today's episode, I do want to touch a little bit on grief and really just releasing and letting go in specific relationships or even certain areas of relationships that you have with people. And as we do those things, it can be very distracting. It can cause us a lot of stress because we're like constantly thinking about it and worried about the outcome of the relationship or just, you know, how you guys are going to interact moving forward. It can be really stressful when you're having a difficult moment in relationships or when you decide to no longer participate in that relationship or when you don't have a choice and there's a death, okay? So, when we go through that, it can be very distracting to our purpose. It keeps us from being able to really focus, get our work done. It even takes away energy from our other relationships. So, today I just want to talk about how you can easily process and transition through times like that on your journey when you just have to release. So, one thing I really want to talk about is that in this past couple of years, I have really had to learn about detachment, which I talked about on the last episode. And with that, there is a process of grieving because you have to come to terms with the fact that the future that you plan with somebody or you just thinking or knowing that they will always be there in your life or even thinking that your relationship will stay the same. Okay? It You have to master detachment so that you can move through life at a more gentle vibration, okay? Caring for yourself and sending love and positive vibrations along to those people, even though they may not resonate with your energy anymore. Whenever I am lacking clarity or feel overwhelmed, have anxiety, or even just don't know what decision to make, I do one thing. I just pause. I allow myself to breathe through whatever it is that is happening. And then I ask myself, what is in my control? Okay? Whatever is in my control, these are where I'm going to find my solution to this problem. Anything else that is not in my control, there is no need for me to stress or worry about them because I can't control it. And one of the top things that you cannot control is other people. You can't control other people. You can't control their reactions. You can't control their behaviors. Nothing. And none of those people belong to you. So when you place people in the pile of the things that I cannot control, that frees up your mind to say, okay, well, what is in my control? What can I do right now with the things that are in my control to find resolution, or at the very least peace? And a lot of those situations look like not saying anything at all, giving you and that person time and space to process what happened between you. And sometimes the answer is just to remove yourself from the equation. If the things that are in your control will not change the situation, sometimes you just have to leave it alone. Sometimes you just have to hit it at a different perspective, try and gain another perception, try and see yourself into that person's shoes of why it is that this ultimately happened. What can you learn from it? There are 5 stages of grief, and these are just basically steps that we go through as we heal through grief. Now, healing is not linear, so that doesn't mean that these steps are going to occur in a specific order, or that at one point you might feel one way and another way, and you might have to double back on a stage that you were already in. Healing is not linear. So you have to just be patient with yourself, send love to yourself, send love to the other people as you go through, as you process, as you learn, as you feel and express all of these emotions. The first stage of grief is denial. And what this basically means is that you are avoiding any feelings that have to do with whatever it is that you are grieving from. That means that you're going to separate yourself, detach from it, so that you don't have to come to terms with that fact that is real. So say if you had a breakup, your first stage of denial would look like, we're just taking a break. It's not really a breakup. Or they're going to call me in a few days and beg back for me. Like, you're just in denial of that happening. The second stage of grief is anger. And you can be angry at yourself. You can be angry at the other person or persons involved. You can be angry at the outcome. You can be angry at the universe or God. There's so many ways that you can go with it. But the truth of the matter is that it's easier to be angry than to express any other emotion. It's easier to just say that I'm upset about this and express those feelings than to say why you are hurt. Because you're going to have to be more vulnerable to say why you are hurt by this. So, expressing anger, it might not be flat out, oh, I'm mad at you. It could also be bitterness, like, basically living in the past, being bitter because of something that happened to you before. Like, oh, I don't do that anymore because the last time I did that, I was hurt. So you can be bitter. You can have resentment towards yourself or towards other people in general. So, for example, I'm so angry at them. They said that we will always be together. They said that we will always be friends no matter what. Instead of just coming to terms with the fact that you are hurt by what happened or however their actions did, you're going to say, oh, I'm angry. It's easier to just be mad at that person than to really dig deeper and see what is the cause of that anger. What is the root of it? Third stage of grief is bargaining. And this is the idea that you could have done anything to change what happened. This is you just pushing off your feelings of sadness or hurt or whatever it is that you're feeling. You're just avoiding those feelings by saying that if I could have did something else, that it would have been different. This is you just refusing to accept. This is even when manipulation comes into hand, when you might still be trying to regain control in certain relationships. So you'll do certain manipulative things so that you can have the control again, so that you can get to say when it's over. But the truth is that everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. And anything that happened in the past, that's exactly the way it was supposed to be. And even if you don't believe that, there's absolutely nothing you can do to change the past. Nothing. There is nothing that you could have done. There's nothing that you should have done, because this is the facts. Stay out of the illusions of woulda, coulda, shouldas, because that is not even real. You can't go back. The only moment that matters is right now. So what this looks like in relationships in a breakup is exactly what I said. Well, maybe if we would have had more frequent date nights, they wouldn't have broke up with me. You know, maybe if I didn't work as much, they wouldn't have broke up with me. Maybe if I was more invested in their other relationships, they wouldn't have broke up with me. There's nothing you could have done to change it. And you don't know if any of those things would have changed it, because right now this is the outcome. This is it. So the fourth stage of grief is depression. This is when you spent time running from your emotions, being in denial of them, using anger as a coping mechanism. When you can't run and hide anymore from your emotions, depression may start to set in, okay? Because it's a feeling of feeling lost. It's a very heavy feeling that you're not sure how it is that you can move on from here, and you may not feel like what even is the point of moving on. It's a feeling of just being stuck and just being numb from everything. So when you reach this stage of grief, it can look like or sound like, what is even the point of going on? I'll never love like that again. There will never be anyone else for me like that. And we know that's not true. But in that moment, it's just all hope is lost. The very last stage of grief is acceptance. This is when you have came to terms with everything, when you have found forgiveness for yourself and for others, when you are genuinely seeking healing towards this person and a situation of what happened. That you no longer want to change anything. You no longer wish anything was different. You are understanding of the fact that it occurred and that there was nothing else that you can do to change it. And now you're able to move on with your life. And even after you accept it, like I said, healing is not linear. There'll still be times and moments where, you have to double back and maybe you're in denial again. Like, no, this can't be true. Maybe you're angry again. I can't believe that they left me. But as long as you continue to work towards it, as long as you continue to ground yourself, allow yourself to feel and to release those emotions, then you're going to be okay. And everything is exactly as it should be. Ashe? I hope that you guys did enjoy this episode. You can hit my link tree in the description if you want to join me for Meditation Mondays. Remember, we are on our sacral we are on a solar plexus chakra this week. Also, if you want to come and watch my live stream, The Blank Space with Bianca and Shani of Mindful BS Podcast, then you can find on my link tree our Twitch stream, or you can just watch us on YouTube to see our past episodes, okay? And as always, you can always find healing at fullmoonbeauties.com or check me out at Manifesting with KarmicSightGal on YouTube. Wishing you the best. Peace out.